Hello comrades, welcome to the third part of our Supremacy 1914 guide. This is a guide to combat. If you've just joined us, I recommend going back to the other episodes. I'm sorry that this episode has taken so long to get out. I've been a little busy, so I haven't been able to check and film Supremacy as much as I would like to, but regardless, we're here now, so let's get straight into it. Right now, I'm actually a pretty small country, so I've got a strong need to expand. The best way to do that is to our East Libyan neighbour. They may be more powerful than us in terms of score, but our military prowess will soon bring us victory. Please do take scores into account when deciding where you will be invading, but remember that the score is decided by a lot of things and not just a strong military, so don't be put off if it's only a little bit higher than your own. So this is, in my opinion, one of the better early game strats to warfare, and it may seem like common sense, but honestly, a lot of people miss it when I watch them play or am competing against them. So what we do is we take our artillery and we launch an attack to the closest fortress we want to target. Artillery can stop a conflict from a distance and means no harm can come to it while it takes out a fortress level by level and killing the infantry inside. The next thing we'll do is we're going to separate or split our infantry, cavalry and armoured cars, whatever essentially isn't a ranged assault method, and then we're going to place them ahead of the artillery. Not by a lot, but enough so that there's a solid distance between our infantry and cavalry from the artillery. If we do this, then the fortress that is under siege from ranged attacks will have to then leave the fortress to come and attack our artillery, but they will attack our infantry first. So our heavy hitting artillery will be able to still attack the fortress and not be damaged by any infantry, as they'll run into our cavalry and infantry first. Additionally, our troops will be engaged in what I call even ground, so the enemy will be fighting us in province territory, so without their fortress they'll have no defense buff. So what we're going to do now is do it with all the troops that we can. We'll be smart and leave a few troops at this province here and there so that they can't be flanked from the direction we are attacking, and so we don't have any unnecessary losses. So now that they're all in action, we can see we're making quite a simple sweep from the right to the left through all of their provinces. This, for the most part, is how I engage in combat, but sometimes you may require a different approach, so be flexible and go for what you really think will be the best form of assault. The next thing we're going to do is move these new recruits closer to the front lines as backup, in case we take heavy losses anywhere and need to use them to bolster our assault. If you've got the resources, I'd recommend building more artillery or armoured cars as the war progresses, depending on the numbers that you already have. Something to keep in mind that I read while looking into the game is that the infantry's power will only stack up to 50. So if you have 50 infantry and 110 infantry, they will be as strong as one another because their power only stacks up to 50. However, this doesn't mean you only want to stack them up to 50, because infantry actually cushions products like tanks and boats. So by stacking 106 infantry on 15 light tanks, we can provide a bigger, longer cushion for our tanks, which means the heavy hitting accessories will do damage for longer. We can apply this method to something like a light cruise ship or battleship, and the infantry will slow them down, but if anything comes to attack the ships, they'll be killing the infantry first and usually leave the ships alone. If you followed the last episodes, then by now you should have plenty of factories and railways, which is great. These will boost productions of units and increase morale, plus open doors to faster troop movement and higher level production. You may also want to invest in a harbour. This will boost unit production and open the door to naval warfare. Before I go, I am going to build 2 more artillery as I have the resources to support it, and there's no harm in having more. Now I'm going to wait and to see what happens. I will come back once enough time has passed.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we're back, and our artillery has been built, and it's in position. We've also taken 2 new provinces, which is great news for us, as it means we're making progress. Obviously, we've made sure not to neglect steps from previous videos, and we've been upgrading buildings where appropriate and fixing all damaged ones from the provinces that we've taken. So let's go through again the method we use for combat, just in case anyone is still confused. So what we will do is we'll split our 3 artillery and make them attack this nearest fortress. We'll then take our troops and move them further than the artillery to keep it safe, while in range to attack the fortress. This way, troops in the fortress that try to leave will be fighting our troops on even ground without a defense buff, and they'll find it even harder to get to our most valuable piece of equipment, the artillery. As we get more provinces under our control, it's important to do a few things. We should adjust the resource focus on the top bar to keep everything coming in blue. We should also rebuild any broken buildings in new provinces and remember to keep some infantry in newly claimed provinces until their morale level reaches 30 to 35. If we leave a province with no infantry and these morale levels are lower, then they can rebel and join another country, which will become an issue. Early game conflicts can move fast, but I'm taking this one fairly slow, since a lot has been going on recently, including some mild flooding, which has been delaying the editing of this video. I haven't been able to be as aggressive as I could be, and I did decide to build a harbour, though this would come around quite nicely as it would give us access to a naval force, including a battleship, which would be pretty cool. In fact, at the end of this video, we're going to build and name our first battleship, after the first person to comment on my first video, just as a little thank you for the support so early on. I hold you guys in high regards, and the fact that some of you are willing to sit here and watch the content at this low level of quality that it is right now means a lot. I'll be working to improve as I get more used to everything, but this is just how I say my first thank you, but I've got a long way to go. So we're going to let this play out and come back after.
Tomorrow.
Okay, as you can see, another successful attack. We've taken the province and can start moving deeper into East Libya. Since everything's going so well, we will wait for our troops to all gather up, and in my own time I'll continue the assault, as I believe you've got a good idea on how I carry combat out, and hopefully it works for you too. Earlier in the video, I did say I was going to name our first battleship after the first ever comment, so let's do that. Our first comment was from Mystic Bobby, so we're going to name our first battleship the Mystic Bobby. In a day, we will have our first battleship, and it will be named after this commenter, and he will be our spear to the naval fleet. Mystic Bobby, if you're coming back to watch these videos and you're checking in, then thank you. I know it's not much, but I do really appreciate the support, and I do hope you get to see this video. This is the progress that we've made so far, and next time you see an episode from me, we should have conquered all of East Libya. We have plenty of artillery and tanks, which is great, and should help us move quickly into the #1 spot in the game. So we'll start a few more attacks on the nearby provinces, and we can leave it for today. Thank you for watching this episode. It was filmed over multiple days and took a long time to record due to personal reasons and then to edit due to maintenance issues around the house. Please like and subscribe if you would like to see more content, and I'll try to answer any questions or suggestions in the comments below. I will see you guys later.